YouTube? It's your guy, Not Your Average Trucker, coming to you again on a Friday. On the highway right now, man. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. My wife is from NewPort News, Virginia, and I gotta make a quick trip up to NewPort News to pick up my mother-in-law. She done had 3 emergency eye surgeries, and she was supposed to be flying down to Charlotte to, kick it with us for a week for my youngest son's birthday, as well as for, Thanksgiving. But being that she's had these 3 emergency surgeries, her doctor doesn't want her on a plane for 6 months because I guess of the cabin air pressure or whatever. And, putting her on a train from NewPort News, Virginia to Charlotte, North Carolina was like crazy long. I think it was long, man. It was double digit in hours. Putting her on the bus was just as long. So the only other option was for me to go pick her up. So yeah, she only has to ride in the car with me for about 5 hours or so, because I believe it's like 300 and something miles there and 300 miles back. So she only has to ride with me for 5 hours. However, I'm doing 10 hours worth of driving. Since I'm a trucker, in theory, it's no big deal. I'm used to driving. But I just think it's hilarious. We doing this to accommodate her, so she wouldn't have a long trip on a bus or a train. But in doing so, I have a long trip, But what can you do? She's an awesome grandmother to, our kids, and so it is what it is, man. Thankful to have her in our life. So to show my gratitude, I gotta jump in the car and drive 600 miles round trip. It is what it is. But anyway, man, not much going on this week. Been a pretty simple week. Freight's still a little crazy, but as always, I managed to keep all my trucks, keep them loaded, keep them moving. There's a lot of brokers out here with crazy prices, but it is what it is, man. I'm sure this will come to pass at some point. Not much going on this week, man. I'm anxious for football Sunday, because a week ago my Carolina Panthers got demolished by the Pittsburgh Steelers, so anxious to see my team hit the field against the Lions, mainly because the Lions hasn't been, very good this year. However, man, any given Sunday, we all know anything can happen. The Lions did, beat up on Tom Brady, man. So it's always a possibility that we can get surprised. One of my good friends is a Lions fan. It's funny because me and him were initially going to fly to Detroit to see the game. We talked about that before the season. But being that the Lions haven't been that good this year, he thought it would be a waste of money to fly out there, for him at least. I was confident that my team would win, so I was always down. Plus, I'm always down to travel on a plane, when it doesn't involve long drives for me. But needless to say, man, I'm anxious to see what we come out with, man, because we have to have a better showing, because we got whooped, man. I made a video about it already. I've watched a lot of other reaction videos from Panther fans and Steeler fans. Obviously we're on the opposite side of the spectrum. So hopefully we beat up on the Lions, man. I never liked Stafford, and they done got rid of Golden Tate, so I don't really know how I feel about his weapons or if he has any weapons over there. So, you know, in theory, man, on paper, we should win this game, man. So, we'll see. But as far as the Steelers, man, back to that Le'Veon Bell guy, I'm not one to count, you know, other men's pockets, you know. What he chooses to do is his prerogative. I just don't get it, man, because he's been in the league 5 years, and in his first 5 years, he's only totaled, and that's including the franchise tag last season, he's only totaled $14 million in earnings. Whereas this 1 year alone, he was scheduled to make $14.5 million just for this one season, which would have put him at, you know, $28 million for his career. And he chose to walk away from it because he thinks he deserves more than that. Meanwhile, as I said before, James Conner's been balling, which leads us to believe that it is in fact the offense and not him. You know, it's that offensive line. It's Big Ben. It's Juju. It's AB. So it's like, in my mind, your value is going down. You're never going to recoup that. No matter what the next team gives you, you still lost $14 million this year. So I think he's getting terrible advice. Not to mention, you've been suspended twice for, you know, using drugs. You've also had 2 injuries, and you're getting 1 more year older. So, I mean, I don't understand. I get it, man. Sometimes you just want your bread, but the type of team that's going to be able to give him this contract that he wants, it's not going to be a winning team. I mean, I hear reports that maybe he'll end up in Indianapolis and he get to play with Andrew Luck, but that's not a winning formula guaranteed. Not to mention, you're going to strap the salary cap, man, by taking all that money that you want, which means they're not going to be able to put, you know, grade A players around you. So, I mean, it comes a point in time where it's like, do you want to get paid or do you want to win? Or do you want to stay somewhere where you could compromise and get a little of both? And I feel like, you know, Steelers is an A1 organization. He'd had the opportunity to make good money because they still offered him $70 million. Like, people are overlooking that part. And he turned it down because only the first year was guaranteed. But at least, you know, if you stay in Pittsburgh, year in, year out for the last 50 years, they've put a contending product on the field. You could end up in the New York Jets, y'all gonna be trash. Yeah, you'll be rich. Higher taxes in New York, but you'll be rich. But y'all not gonna win nothing. You're in Indianapolis, you'll be rich. Nah, I can't really say y'all gonna win anything, but to each his own, man. He's a grown man. Hope it works out for him, you know. Hope he don't get blackballed next summer and people don't offer him what he think, you know, he goes through the same scenario. But I don't know. It seems like he was willing to take this risk because maybe under the table he's already come to a deal with one of these teams out here. So I refuse to believe that his agent is that stupid. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a truck driver, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, it's your guy, not your average trucker, man. Be sure to hit me up on Instagram, Trucker Not Your Average, Twitter, all that. I put some links in the bottom, man. But like I say, man, just wanted to shoot a quick video, man. I tend to drop videos on Fridays. At one point, I was dropping videos like every day, but, you know, as any other human, you know, sometimes you get lazy. Maybe I get back to doing that, man, dropping some videos after I leave the gym or something, you know. But it's your guy, not your average trucker, man. All y'all be easy. All my Panther fans, keep pounding. All my drivers out here, man, keep your head up. Knock the miles out. Take care of your family, man. Be safe. Hammer down. You heard?